what's going on, y'all? My name is George Pettus. I'm a music producer. You guys probably know me for songs for Egg Roberson, Fonte, It's So Easy, Rhapsody, featuring Common, featuring Charles Gambino, beautiful music, like Love, many more songs out there, many more artists that I work with, Talib Kweli, Melba Moore, so on and so on. But anyway, my name is George Pettus, and thanks for having me. Hey, welcome. I'm all right. Welcome to Dove Academy.
All right.
Have a seat.
Thank you so much for coming and meeting with us this morning, Mr. George Pettus. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely happy to be here. So.
Well, I'm honored and I'm thankful that you're part of this project.
Cool.
I know that you've done a lot of things in the industry and I have mad respect for you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about some of the people that you work with?
Rhapsody. I worked on a couple of songs with her and a couple other big time artists like Common, Raheem Devon, Talib Kweli. List goes on, but yeah, so.
Did you have something to do with some part of that Hulu Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah. I got like four beats on there from the beginning. I got one beat in the beginning and two in the middle, and I got the last song going out.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was real exciting and privileged to do that because I always want to work with, Wu-Tang Clan and or have some affiliation with that. So.
I believe you've had some Grammy nominations too, right?
Yes, I have with Melba Moore, Egg Roberson, Infante, and Torre.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you get into music? And you come from a musical family?
Yeah, my dad is a former R&B singer. He was signed to MCA Records back in the day, and just watching him, succeed in life, and being on Soul Train and Video Soul back in the day, watching him, it kind of inspired me to do music. But at the same time, I was playing drums for several churches and stuff, so I was already written to the music. Yeah. But not as playing. So once he got
So you weren't like classically trained. You weren't trained at all. You started picking it up by ear. You were interested. You just started kind of hanging around it all.
Right.
Okay.
So, but I didn't get really serious until I got here to Texas. And then I met some people here in Austin, Texas that was in a band called All You Need. And I've been with that band for about 20-something years, and that's what
kind of. Y'all. So y'all did a lot of performing around Austin.
Oh yeah, we was like one of the top headline bands here. So the early 2000, I would say 2001 really, there was an audition. Capitol Records was there, Bad Boy South. So it was a lot of people that I knew here from Austin, going down to this audition, to get recognized. So I was like, you know what? I mean, because I was kind of skeptic about stuff like that, and I was like, but I was like, you know what? I had good friends here in Austin. It was like, yo, G, you got that nice sound, and I think you should try out, So I was like, okay, cool. So I went down there, played my stuff in front of everybody, everybody's listening, you know what I'm saying? So it's just not the panel in the room. We got all the contestants.
That's waiting too,
everybody's in the room, listen to my stuff. So I played a couple of joints and stuff, and it was like, okay, cool. So I went to the bathroom, and there was a guy, one of the panels, and the guy came in the bathroom right after me and stuff. I did my thing, washed my hands, he was washing his hands, and he was like, man, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, I like your stuff, man. My name is Sko. I'm with Bad Boy South. Here's my number. Call me tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. So I called him the next day and stuff. We linked up, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history after that.
Wow.
I'm just
So how do you juggle family life and your career?
It's hard, but at the same time, you gotta adapt.
Yeah.
So, my wife, she writes, and we did the Melba Moore album together.
Oh,
Melba
nice.
Moore is a 4-time Grammy, first Black Tony Award winner.
Wow.
By the Broadway play Pearly.
She's on her way to being an EGOT.
Yeah. So that was a big record because we did like 90% of the album.
Wow.
And it was like #1 on the UK Soul charts for like five weeks straight.
Wow.
So my family, was by me 100%. I got awesome kids. They managed to accept what I do for a living. And I'm just proud of my kids. They're in school, in college. Super proud of them.
They're all college age now.
Yeah, so Texas A&M, UTSA, and stuff. So it's just, I just been blessed to have good kids.
Was there a time in life, and in your career, personal life and career, where you found yourself kind of having difficulties, like managing life transitions?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody, has their own problems in life. I'm not perfect. There are times when the music industry slows down. You get frustrated and you make music constantly in the studio. And sometimes it's overwhelming. So
you've done a lot of things here in Austin, not only career-wise, but also community-wise, so you give back.
I give back,
and you help mentor people that are trying to, make a career out of this.
Right,
It's not always easy. So what do you do for your mental health, and what have you done throughout the years to kind of keep yourself, positive and optimistic about your future and about the industry?
Yeah, we definitely got to stay motivated. You got to, you just can't let your negatives, overcome your positives.
Overshadow.
Yeah. So to me, I'm always uplifting. I'm always helping out. I'm, always giving back. And like I said, just staying positive. You know what I'm saying? So, first thing is to take care of yourself. For one thing, you got to be healthy in all that you do. Eat right, work out. Stay positive. Don't be negative on yourself. Go to counseling. There's nothing wrong by going to counseling. Same as you have a bad marriage, go to counseling. Same concept. Definitely if you're feeling like that, you need somebody to speak wisdom into your life. Talk about it. Talk about your problems, and it'll definitely help you overcome anything that's going on. You juggling stuff throughout your life, and keep God first, pray about it. There's nothing wrong with praying about it. By pursuing your dreams, stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize, don't let nobody tell you anything different than what your goal is. Only you know what's best for you. Only you know what's even good for you. Just keep at it. Never give up. Never give up. Too many people give up, and then that's when everything all fails because they think of negativity, and it's going to happen if you think negativity in your life. Speak positive in your life, and you'll excel in all that you do.
Will it be a waste of time spending my life here with you? 'Cause if you don't wanna be mine, Will it be a waste of time spending my life here with you?
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff.
I'm Paul.
I'm Pete.
And we are the Radio Gunners.
Mon cher, ma belle, mon cher, ma belle, mon cher, ma belle, mon cher, ma belle, avec mes petits pommes, avec mes petits pommes, mon cher, ma belle, mon cher, ma belle. If I said I needed you, would you find a way?
Look who's here. Hey, hello. Come on in. Thank you. Gunners away. All right. Thanks for coming. After you. Looking forward to this. Hey, Tina.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Tina.
Hey, let's go out and have a talk. All right.
All right, good to see you.
All right, we got a great day. Let's sit outside.
Right.
Wonderful.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Nice weather out here today.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about your story, how y'all got together, and yeah, let's start from there.
But Pete and I kind of played around and we're finding our sound. But the one thing that did it is that it was okay until I put my guitar down and picked up the mandolin, which I'd never done with an accordion. And all of a sudden we kind of both went, that sounds really good. And then about a year or so later, through a mutual friend, we hooked up, went to your place.
Yep.
And started playing, and I said, I got a guy you gotta meet. And next thing we were downstairs in the music room, and the one song that kind of always kind of threaded through, the first one we ever played together was in public was Abraham, and then I played that for you, and you go, I want to sing that one.
Yeah.
I went, man,
Yeah.
I'd love it if you sang that one.
Yeah. We've all had our individual music careers, and I did mine, in the late 90s and early 2000s in Nashville and toured and all that stuff. So you're always nervous about when somebody goes, oh, I know somebody that's a good musician, and,
Right.
And plus, my musical performances and my style of music was pretty, even though I'm a lover of all music, and not even necessarily the kind that they say I'm good at. It's like, it's hard to find songs from other people that you can perform, because I'm pretty pigeonholed as a kind of a country-ish type guy, But yeah, I heard that song, and I'm like, oh, I'd really like to sing that song.
Please just slow the train down, so I may kneel upon this ground. That Mr. Abraham is passing by today. He is heading back home with his widow and his son, to rest his weary soul down Springfield way.
The Radio Gunners comes from, these two guys are aviation buffs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so you get these guys
Yeah,
talking, and they're talking about B-17s, and
wow.
you're a pilot.
Yep.
And
Licensed
so they
pilot.
talking about all that, and then we were stumbling looking
Yeah.
for a name for a band. We couldn't come up with anything that we liked.
So, when y'all came together, did you find that you were going through a transition in life? Is this group like a symbol of a transition?
Yeah, certainly for me. It's very representative of my life, and I went I made my living in the music business for a long time. I was on a major label. I was on a couple of independent labels, here and there. Never made it. I was trying to start a business, and it took all of my resources from me, and so I needed to make a new change, and I started acting, of all things, and I've been really lucky to be able to make my living doing that. And at about the same time, we start this, And so for a guy that I'm not formally educated, only to a certain level, but I've tried to educate myself. It is, and being away from music for such a long time and going through a pretty, when you have to change your life in your 40s, it's scary. Music is therapeutic, and it gives you, and it, the music was, and I would have never guessed I'd be playing with Pete and Paul, because they're just not, I've never played their kind of style of music before, or whatever. It's been very liberating, because music is a universal language. Like, who would have thought an old rodeo guy, that's not formally educated, I'm a huge fan of Bach. It speaks to me.
Right.
And I don't need to understand how he wrote it, or some of the Russian music I listen to, I love. I don't understand what they're saying, but I feel the music. And so it's a universal language that everyone can understand. And this little group right here is it means a ton to me, because that's what it signifies.
So, what does music and mental health mean to you, Paul?
Okay, that's an easy one. Okay, I have 3 kids. They're all musicians. I mean, they're all professionals. They do, they've got real jobs and all that. But I always told them, you want to stay sane, play.
It gives you a sense that you're touching somebody in a way that maybe they haven't, you never figured out, or that you wouldn't have thought touched somebody when you see somebody react to your music. And I think that's
Good job, Pete. That's right, man.
That
Right
makes
on.
you feel good.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to find fellowship. Whatever group that is, you need to find fellowship. For us, it's easy because we play music together, or in my career that I do love, like, have fellowship with like-minded people, with artists, we're creating all the time. But it doesn't matter. It's like I was saying earlier about, some people play golf, or join an aero club, or find fellowship. I think fellowship is the most important thing, because human beings, generally speaking, need each other. So I think fellowship is the most important thing, because everybody needs to feel a purpose. And I know exactly how people feel when feel like, what have I done in my life? I've wasted, I'm in a job I really don't identify with anymore. I am living proof at 45 years old, I changed and I started acting, and I've been doing it for a living. I've been very lucky and very blessed. I've made movies, done all this stuff, because I was scared to death. But if you're afraid of something, that usually means there's risk there, and that means there's a reward, and it's worth it. Just do it.
I kind of concur with Jeff about finding fellowship. I think that means a lot, and it can help you. It can help a person, come out of whatever struggles they've had, and just find somebody to hang with, and find people that have common interests to hang out with, and even that might lead to a new career option that maybe you hadn't thought of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A couple things. One, do something. Go do something. Dig a hole. Be successful at something. It can be little. I mean, go out. Don't go into your room. Don't even take your guitar and go to your room. Take your guitar and get out. I mean, I have always played at a church somewhere. Partly because I like it, partly because I help a lot of people, partly because it makes you a great musician. And you know what? That means I can't sit around and be idle and be sorry for myself. You gotta punch it out. That's something, something my parents kind of always taught me is that, life can be tough, but just get out and work through it. Because if you isolate yourself, pull yourself away, and so it's fellowship. That's how you grow fellowship. You're not going to get fellowship watching TV.
There are no guarantees with life, health. You just never know. And so you better live it, because you're going to miss out if you don't. And even if you live what we call a long life, it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah. So just get out there and do it. Yeah.
I'm Dr. Elisha Baker Rogers.
Hi, I'm Glenn Towery.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Mustard.
And we are the board members of the AVA Fest.
We want to introduce veterans all through the United States to the arts. We're entering a new era now. It's about changing the direction that we're going with treating veterans with PTSD.
Yesterday is history.
Spilling the blood of fellow man in foreign lands, fighting side by side with brothers who'll never again hold family in hand.
Not just painting, it's not just sculpture, but it's singing, acting, dancing. It's those things that allow the human mind to rest.
These veterans and government employees should be treated as patriots and heroes.
Music is therapeutic. It's better than medication.
I don't communicate so easily. I'm not who I used to be, and I'm still trying to get used to me.
I think that's them. Let me permit them access here. Yeah, okay, so I'm glad that you guys came to meet with me today, and I want you to go around and just introduce yourselves. I'll start with you, Mr. Glenn.
Okay, so my name is Glenn Towery. I am the founder of the Veterans Suicide Prevention Channel, and we are the folks with my team here, which there are many more of us, who put on the Austin Veterans Arts Festival. The VAs across the country, they teach veterans to try to mitigate their PTSD by using art.
Okay.
But what we're trying to do, what we attempted to do and have done, is put that on steroids by creating a national art festival for veterans. And our motto is healing veterans using the arts and community. I had never heard that 22 veterans a day were killing themselves, committing suicide when I was in Los Angeles. And for some reason, that hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was like, oh. I stopped, I did the math, I said 22 a day, that's this many in a month, that's this many, oh my God, that's 8,300 veterans a year? So I said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my camera, I'm gonna go to the VA, because I was taking PTSD groups there, and I'm gonna ask veterans there to tell me what would they say to a veteran to talk them out of committing suicide. And I'm gonna record it, and then I'm gonna put it all on YouTube. And that's how it got started. And one thing led to another. I got a comment from a veteran. Kind of changed everything for me. I still have that video up. He said this video saved my life. Excuse me. So, said I have to keep this up. So we've grown it now into a channel, Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel. It has its own board. It's a nonprofit organization. It's got great people, and they believe that we can use this channel to save veterans' lives. And so that's what we've been doing. It was founded in 2015. VFW sent us their commander, their Texas State Commander, to help us form this organization in 2015 to turn it into a nonprofit organization. He was our first vice chair. His name was John Spar. And then about a year later, he said, bye. I was like, where are you going? He said, the training wheels are off, baby, ride.
Dwayne Mustard. Hi, I'm small town Texas. So I'm just from right up the road, small town called Lott, Texas.
Okay.
On the other side of Temple. I grew up in small town Texas, and then I joined the Air Force after high school, college. So after I retired out of California, I moved here back to Austin. I didn't want to go out to the country. And I volunteered at the VA for about a year doing peer support. And so met Glenn while I was doing that. And, one day he did tell me, when he came in to talk to me, he said, I just saw this commercial today. And he had just saw a 22 veterans per day killing, so it kind of shocked him. And he was in a lot of distress that day. It was one of my more difficult days at work because, I'm not really, in a position to show my feelings. But I was hurting with him just because
What year were we?
We were 2014, 2015.
So you were going through some things at that time. What were you going through?
I was going through a lot. Things I don't really like to talk about, but I was going through a divorce that I didn't I didn't see coming. So it was very difficult. So during that time frame, I really did understand how you can feel isolated, how you can feel like the whole world is against you, everyone is judging you. So I became sort of a recluse, but because of my work, I was working with people every day.
Forces you to still have to interact.
Yeah, but they were also building me back up because they were showing me that, hey man, you're fine though, you're doing, so, the main thing was that
he feels as though you helped him, and you feel as though he helped you. So y'all helped each other in that time. Y'all were both going through things.
Yes.
So you were having an episodic period with the PTSD, and you were going through just a lot of different emotions in transition of like what's next, what's to come, and also just trying to sort it all out. You weren't even expecting it, sorting all of that out and still trying to show up gathered enough emotionally to work, even though you're like torn apart on the inside. And y'all seem to kind of did something special for each other in a very sensitive time.
I'm Dr. Elisha Baker-Rogers. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I've been a nurse for over 36 years. I went into the Navy a little older. I was almost 33. I wanted to serve my country. Didn't think I would do 20 years, but I ended up doing 20. I retired in 2013, and I went back for my doctorate in nursing practice in integrative health and healing. In addition to being a nurse, I'm also a licensed massage therapist and an acu-detox specialist. And during my clinicals, the second year, I wanted to focus more on female veterans because, percentage-wise, there's more males than females. And during my interaction with my integrative modalities, some of them shared with me their sexual trauma experiences that they hadn't shared with anyone else.
In August of 2017, I went to the city council and I told them I wanted to do this festival, and it was quiet for a minute. They were like, you want to do what? I told them an art festival for veterans. I still got the video of it, right?
And when you say art festival for veterans, what does that mean? So you're covering theater arts, you're covering music, dance, am I missing any?
Theater, art,
poetry?
Music, dance, poetry.
We started out to build 10, I think we were going to try to get like 10 shows together around the city. And the idea was to have veterans, their families, their kids being involved, hopefully working with artists that are well established and kind of bringing the veterans out of the homes, out of those home studios, and kind of getting them on stage and doing things. That was the original idea.
Members of the Ava Fest and the Suicide Prevention Channel, it's a venue that you can connect to help you deal with what is going on presently, because it's a mind, body, spirit connection, and there are people here and through this venue that want to help you, that understand what you're going through.
As a veteran, I've been on a lot of medications, and I understand that sometimes medications can have good and not so good effects. There's always repercussions to putting something in your body. But art is the kind of thing, when you use it, that leaves a residual treatment to the soul. We have to look for other alternative means for treating PTSD. The reason why PTSD is so bad is what it does is it takes you back. It wants to take you back to the past and make you relive all of the traumatic moments with all of the nervous energy and the fear and the anxiety and all those things that you felt at that moment. But what art does is allows you to be able to process that in a way without all of that emotion, or even allow that emotion to come out in a way to where it's not hurting you.
Music saved me. And every artist that we worked with, it was over 60 different artists, rappers, singers, dancers, band members. Every last one of them thanked me for the Ava Fest, and the reason why is because they understood how music saved them. But those band members, those artists, they're pouring their souls out, and a lot of these songs were written during times when they may have considered, had ideations of suicide or things like that, or they were going through rough times. So that was the biggest takeaway, is that all of them, each and every one of them, at some point, they told me, they was just like, man, we're just so thankful for this because I understand how this music helped me and saved me. So that's probably my biggest takeaway.
Hi, I'm Tomar Williams. I'm a songwriter, producer, and a composer, and also I'm in the band Tomar and the FCs.
Girls already 9:30. I've been thinking that you changed your mind. Always saying that it's justified, but you do this all the time. So mesmerized, the lady queen. Give me the day to get back those days. Feeling so blessed. Don't you put much thought into it and let me do the rest.
Yeah, man. Hey, David. Good to see you, man. David. Likewise, man. Been a long time. Little rut there, man. Run around.
Taking on all the piano.
Yeah, running us out of here, man. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Tim. How you doing? Yeah. Hi.
How you doing?
David Straight.
David Straight, nice to meet you.
Mr. Man here, straight music right here.
Wow, so this is your family's?
Family business. My father started it in 1963. So
that's pretty
awesome.
awesome.
A lot of musicians like Tomar grow up.
Yeah, well, it's nice to meet you. Can I steal him away for a little bit?
Yeah, help yourself.
Hey, David.
Thank you.
Hope I don't come in here and bug you guys anymore, right? I sure will. Okay. Good to see you.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your start with music and how it all kind of began.
It kind of began like with my dad. He's a jazz saxophone player, and my mom's a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like 7 kids.
Wow.
And they had 3 girls first, and they had 4 boys.
Yeah, like the Jacksons.
So we were like the Jacksons plus like, and then the whole thing was that my dad just wanted to just kind of put music into our lives, you know? And then it just became to where that he went to a pawn shop and he bought a bunch of instruments, put them into the garage, and my brothers.
About how old were you?
I was about 10 years old, about 9 or 10, 10 years old.
Oh, that's a good age to start like.
And then my brothers, I have one older brother. He was like 1.5 years older. And then I had 2 younger brothers. They were like babies practically.
Hey, so what all instruments do you play?
Well, I play around guitar, bass. Piano is what I normally like to, express myself when I'm writing.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
Every once in a while I do write on the guitar, but mostly I write a lot of the songs on the keys. Piano and keys.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So can we have a seat here?
Yeah, definitely.
So I heard you just released an album, a music project, right?
Yeah. Rise Above. Rise Above. Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that whole experience. Has it been stressful? Have you been doing a lot of stress with that?
Well, the whole process of actually writing that album, it took about 2 years because our last release was The Heart Attack. We actually put it out ourselves. Yeah. And we decided this time around we were going to sign with a label because it's hard trying to do write the album and then actually promote the album and market the album, distribute all that stuff. So the title Rise Above, I wrote that song kind of understanding where we're at right now as a country.
Yeah.
And as people are trying to gel, basically the lyrics are speaking about not division, but it's all about coming together and how can we have a solution rather than be a part of the problem.
Exactly.
And
being so divided.
Yeah, yes, because division is already there.
Yeah.
It's evident that it's there.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out how can we, bridge that, because some of us look at one another just because you stay on the east side,
yeah,
on the west side, it's that we're completely different. Like, nah, man, we go through the same thing.
Overall, there's probably the same goal that we're all trying to get to, right? And that's what you're talking about.
Just because, some of us think that, well, this person is very fortunate when it comes to financial, gain or whatever.
Exactly.
They don't deal with, problems like that.
They don't have to, deal with that stuff, but they do in their own way.
In your own way.
And it's a battle of the mind.
It really is.
It's a battle of the mind.
I'm going to say this here, being in so many different sort of elements and levels of music. I mean, I signed with Universal Records back in 2005. My brother and I, we were producing a lot of hip hop.
Yeah.
And we seen the highs and the lows. And the highs, when it's high, you're riding high, but when you hit low, you got to be able to know how to pick yourself up. Because it's not always going to be beautiful. There are going to be some ugly days, there's going to be some ugly weeks, there's going to be some ugly years. But what I've always learned is that, first and foremost, I'm a very spiritual person. I hold on to that one thing is God, and you got to have something that can carry you through. If you're not spiritual, find something that actually can carry you through, because you will find yourself sometimes so low that you have no idea how you're going to get out, or you may think that there's no way out. Sometimes
What do you do in the wait, though?
Well,
what would you tell someone that's waiting? Like, I've been waiting 15 years. Tomar, get off my screen. What do I do when I'm waiting?
Well, while you're waiting, that's the same time while you're preparing.
Okay.
Because when it does hit you, the last thing.
And you're like helping too,
exactly.
Like you're not only worried about yourself.
You're not waiting and sitting still.
You're doing stuff. You're actively waiting.
You're staying active.
Okay.
And that's what it's all about, just preparing yourself.
Because you're meeting.
The preparation never stops. But
it's part of the story.
It's all of the story, and it's all about basically.
There's no story if there's no wait time.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. Or no hard times.
No hard times. So.
Yeah.
And in order to understand what the sweetness tastes like fully, you have to have some bitter.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You gotta have some bitter moments, man, because you wouldn't know what sweetness tastes like if there's no such thing as bitter.
Good stuff.
And, good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, growing up in a family band. Seen highs and lows when it comes to record companies signing us, and then one company that we signed with took off with the money. Mm-hmm. And it's a true story. And one of the guys decided that instead of taking the money and putting it into our project, he actually took the money and put a down payment on a home for his wife, and we never seen him again. I hadn't seen him to this day. We hadn't seen him to this day. So we had to figure out what we're going to do next. Where we go from here. And so we pulled together as a family. My dad was like, you know what, we're going to make this happen. We're going to get jobs, and we're going to rebuild.
Let's do it.
And we're going to finance this album. So that's what it's all about. Self-finance. And so letdowns like that, when you think that you're going to be like, you're telling your friends, hey man, we're about to be here, we're about to be there, and all of a sudden the bottom falls out. So how do you face those people the next day? How do you face yourself?
So, seems like more people are coming, and I'm hearing them play, but I want to hear you play. So,
play a little something?
Yeah, you mind playing a little something?
I think I'm going to work out these little
I want to hear you.
cobwebs.
Wrote that at 17 years old?
At 17, so, to me it had like it sort of goes something like this here. You know saying? Oh, Earth, Wind, Fire.
I hear it.
That's why I would say, she was 17. Come on. And I was lonely.
Hey.
I was lonely. I'm gonna stop right there. With this whole band, Tomar Williams, basically, we got together in 2015. Actually, this is my very first time breaking away from my brothers, actually doing a project on my own. And to be honest with you, it was the scariest situation because, like I said, trust. I had to learn how to trust other, musicians aside from my brothers that I've been with all my life. So this has been the most amazing journey because I've actually had to dig deep and actually trust myself that I can do this without my brothers, and really, really, really just believe in myself.
Wow, that was beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna run now.
All right, well,
I'm gonna let you keep playing.
Pleasure.
Thanks so much for meeting with us, and I look forward to seeing you at the Rock the Park in Mueller.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Sign up in life for me, baby. How many years we been doing this thing? My heart can turn no more. I can judge by the clothes that I wear. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know why we don't rise above. I don't know why. That's all I'm thinking of. I don't know why. It's so hard to do. I'd like to show you how. It's gonna start with me and you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a new way. It's a new way. It's a new way, y'all.
Oh, how long for this love I've waited. I pray to God for sending you this way. Wanted to hold you, oh, so close. Wishing on a shooting star for love. Tell me if you're the one. Make it last forever. And on, girl, you're the one that I adore. You're the one that I adore. Can't hold back my heart anymore. If you would grant me just one wish, a moment to show you